Hello you guys and welcome back to a new video. Today I do want to sit down and I do want to talk with you about some new yarn that I purchased lately, and I do want to do like a yarn opening with you and tell you some of my ideas on what I am planning to crochet with them. And also I do want to answer some questions that I receive quite often on my YouTube channel, and unfortunately I don't have the time to just sit and reply to all the comments one by one. So I thought some of those questions will answer also some questions of other people. So lately I have been doing a lot of tutorials, and probably you have seen on my channel a lot of handbags. I have been crocheting a lot of bag patterns, but do not worry my darlings, I am going to start crocheting a lot of new patterns like jackets. I have in a plan, sweaters, and things that you can wear. So yeah, other patterns are coming. But I also missed you. I missed talking to you and telling you my plans, letting you know a little bit on what is going on with my crochet life. And so that's why I said it's time to sit and have a sit-down video and not just all these tutorials. And I know that some of you do watch also my sit-down videos, so I thought, well, let's have a talk, a chat, and let's answer some questions and let's open some new yarn. Okay, my darlings, grab your cup of coffee, your wine, your tea, whatever you are wanting to drink, and let's start with it. First, I do want to show you the new yarn that is in. It's not that I did a lot of buying this year, because I do want to buy new yarn. Who doesn't want new yarn? It's just that I do want to be mindful of what I am buying, and I do not want to end up with a lot of yarn that then I'm not going to use it. So this is my number one thought in my head every time that I see a flashy new yarn, and it's like, oh, that feeling that I need this yarn. But I always try to think and I always try to sleep on it, and I always try to see if this yarn, it's really something that I need, or it's just something that I need, it's just spur of the moment, and the next day I'm just going to forget about it. So I never buy the yarn at the moment that I see it. I always sleep on it, and I always think the next day or after a couple of days, if it comes back in my mind and I see some projects that I really want to start, and then I know that this yarn will be used. Of course, on the coming months I'm going to buy more and more yarn, because with the winter season I'm planning, and of course the sweater season that is coming now in autumn, where we are using all the sweaters, and I have a lot of plans, and of course I'm going to buy more yarn. But slowly I am easing into it, and I do want to buy the yarn that I'm actually going to use, rather than the yarn that I am actually just going to buy it beautiful, shiny, and I'm just putting it there, and yeah, later I'm going to regret it. So we are just easing our way in with the yarn for the new season, which is autumn. And for autumn I have a few plans, a few tutorials that I am planning for you, my darlings. But yeah, let me show you first the yarn and let's unbox together. First, I'm going to start with Hobbii. I have never bought yarn from them. This is the first time that I'm buying yarn from them. And yeah, I am excited to see. The great thing is that Hobbii is available here in Europe, and they can ship here in Germany. If you buy a certain amount of money, then you have free shipping. So yeah, I was very excited, and so I can't wait to share with you, my darlings, what I bought at Hobbii. And I'm planning to buy more in the coming months, but let's start slowly and let's just dip our fingers in it. So this first yarn, it is some yarn that it is fine, and I do want to start and do some granny squares with it, but I am going to tell you later. Let's first open the yarn and let me show you what yarn is in the first order. Okay, my darling, so this is the yarn, the first yarn, and this is acrylic 100% because I do have in my mind this sweater that I'm going to do with a very little granny squares. I'm going to show you maybe later on the tutorial for it, and I do want to use very fine yarn because I do not like this huge chunky granny squares. I do want to have this very amazing and fine sweater. But later on, if I see that this sweater will come out very pretty, I think I want to work also with wool, or yeah, I don't know, we will see, with some other fine yarns but in more breathable materials. I got the Mega 100% acrylic and it is 400 grams, 1400 meters long. This is really quite some yarn, and yeah guys, I am planning to use this for a sweater. A lot of little small granny squares coming with it, and this is the first yarn. Wish me luck. I did it in white because I do need a white sweater for the winter. Okay, let's move on to the next yarn that I bought. And we have another package. I do want to tell you that I'm not planning to go a lot with like too many colorful things because my wardrobe is kind of like in black, navy, blue, maybe some purple, maybe some mint somewhere, white. Of course, I use a lot of white. This is kind of like the panel that I am going with, and yeah, maybe the colors that the most of the colors that I use is like purple and mint and maybe some blue. So you are not going to see some crazy colors in my channel because I actually crochet stuff that I wear for myself, and I am not a very colorful person at the moment. But you never know. So yeah, I got this new yarn from Hobbii. This I bought this a month or so ago, but I haven't opened it because I was very busy with other stuff. So yeah, I can't wait to open it now. And this is yarn that is a replacement of another yarn that I already crocheted a jacket. So I found the same thickness of yarn at Hobbii, and I know that not every one of you have access of the yarn that I find on Amazon. So because companies will ship in Germany or maybe in Europe, but they will not ship in America. But I think Hobbii can ship in America, and they have shops, online shops over there as well. So that's why I found the replacement of my jacket yarn, the cropped jacket that I crocheted. So this is the replacement, and let's open it together. This is in black, so you can't really see very well, but this yarn is again 100% acrylic because I am planning to do my cropped jacket with it. I did that in navy color. I need one in black because who doesn't need a cropped jacket in black? Everybody needs one. And I also want to test the pattern because I wrote the pattern in S size, my size, but I do want to make some little small changes to it. So for those changes, I'm going to try them first on black color because I need a black jacket. But if the changes of the pattern will turn out good, and I am going to write the pattern also for other sizes, and then I'm going to do a tutorial for you. And of course I'm not going to use black because nobody can see the black color in tutorials, but then I'm going to buy another color and do the tutorial for you. But this acrylic yarn again is the same acrylic yarn, the same length, is 50 grams, 100% acrylic, 50 grams per skein, and 150 meters long. So which is the same yarn of the one that I did my jacket. I did a vlog for it. If you want to, you can watch the vlog over here. And yeah, this is the yarn that I am replacing it, and I think it's the same yarn. It's just that is from Hobbii and is from this brand We Love Yarn. I've seen this yarn, a lot of YouTubers have been using it, so I am kind of curious to play around with it. So yeah, this is the second yarn that I bought for the coming seasons, and stay tuned for the pattern of the jacket. Okay, you guys, now here is my kind of special yarn, I would say. So I have never bought from Wool and the Gang. I have been admiring this brand from like far away, seeing their what they do, and of course I follow their progress on Instagram, and they are very like cool and you know like that. But they are kind of expensive. So I have never really bought anything from them. So anyway, this is a gift actually from my company, the one that I work, and for my birthday they actually bought gift card for me at the Wool and the Gang. They know that I like knitting and crocheting, so I was very happy to receive this gift from you know, from my job. So yeah guys, it's Wool and the Gang! Yeah, it was, I wanted to buy a kit for knitting a sweater or a cardigan, but they were very expensive. So with the gift card that I had, I could just afford yarn, not with a pattern. So yeah, I am going to open now for you the yarn that I chose over there. I took 10 skeins because I am planning to do a sweater. I haven't decided yet which sweater, but yeah, this is amazing yarn. So I'm going to do a sweater, and actually I am planning to do a simple knitted sweater, but I don't want to do my own pattern. I want to get a free pattern without too much bells and whistles. I just want to have a very simple sweater, but for free, so that I can follow this as a pattern, because I do want to see if I really can read a knitted pattern, and I do want to learn that. So that's why this is the point why I am going to use a pattern from some other designer, because I do want to start and learn how to read the patterns. Oh my god, you guys, you have no idea. It's so soft, and yeah, this is a very good yarn. It was very expensive, but I got 30%, I think, discount. That's why I bought this one, and it's in this kind of baby blue. No, it's not blue, it's like mint blue, which is the color that it's really perfect and matches with my skin tone. And oh god, I am so happy with it. So this is 50 grams, 116 meters, and is 100% alpaca. This is the first time that I'm using alpaca, so I am very excited, and for sure I am going to do a sweater. I took 10 skeins so that I am sure that I'm going to have enough yarn for one sweater. Yeah guys, so this is the mini yarn haul. Yeah, another thing that I bought is this red color. This one, I am going to dye my sweater. I needed a sweater this spring, and it's not in my color palette, but I had that yarn, so I am planning to dye that sweater in navy blue, because it will be perfect for my wardrobe in that color. And I am planning to film the whole process, and wish me luck guys, so that I am not going to ruin my beautiful sweater, but that is the plan. So let's move on now to some questions that I received that I do want to answer, but maybe I cannot find the time. So yeah, just stay tuned and let me answer some of your questions. Okay, so this is one question from Yuan Al Saak. I don't know. Sorry, my pronunciation is not good. Sometimes I don't know how to read your names, so but I'm going to put it somewhere here on the screen. And you are asking, so she's saying, I'm not sure what I did wrong, but my bag did not look as wide as yours. It looks much smaller with the pattern that I followed. Well, sometimes depends on the yarn that you are using, so maybe that will affect the size of the bag. Sometimes your handwork is different from mine. It might happen that I do the stitches more wider than yours. That is another thing. Sometimes it's also because the idea of the bag that you see on the screen, it's just bigger of the reality that the bag is. So this can be another cause. There are many things that can affect the size of a bag. So sometimes you see something in the screen that with your eyes it looks bigger, but in reality it is not that big. It has happened to me so many times that I have watched the video, it looked like a huge tote bag, but then actually when I crocheted it myself it wasn't that big. So it might be that, it might be the yarn, or it might also be the tension, the gauge that you are using. Yours might be tighter than mine. I hope this answered one of your questions. And also you asked, did you put a lining on the bag? No, this bag does not have any lining. If a bag has a lining, I will mention always in my video tutorials, maybe to the end or maybe somewhere in the beginning where I talk about the construction of the bag. So yeah, if you don't see it mentioned is somewhere in the video, I haven't done any lining. Okay, now this is a very interesting question that when I saw this question I immediately wanted to write, but I was working so I did not have the time, and then yeah, time went by. But I do want to answer this question. Is from Shui Gong 2151. So she is asking this question and it is a very good question. I have a question that I hope you will answer. Well, I am now, because every round on the side all have 136 stitches in total. It looks like the bag should be a cylinder shape. But when you are done, it looks like the top round are bigger than the bottom round. How does this happen? It is just natural. Well, if the cylinder, so for example in this case, because this is the bag that you are talking. So in this case, if you open up like this, it looks like a cylinder. If I continue working this cylinder more and more higher, if I do it like this, then you are not going to see this shape, but you are going to see a cylinder over here because it is not going to open up more. If you want to have this shape continuing, you actually have to add stitches over here. So every square, every bottom square has a certain amount of height over here, that this certain amount, if you smash it like this, it will not look like a cylinder. But if you continue working, it will look like a cylinder. So I don't know if this makes sense. So for example, if I continue some more rounds, it will really totally change the shape of this bag. If I do a smaller square over here, of course I cannot crochet so many rounds on top. I have to crochet less rounds to have this kind of results. I don't know if this makes sense, but every bottom that has a circle has a certain amount of rounds on top that it will not look like a cylinder. But if you cross that amount of rounds, then it will look like a cylinder. So in this case, if I had continued more rounds, of course it would have totally taken another shape. So it would have just been like continuing like this in this direction, and you could see that it is in a cylinder type shape. Okay, so I really hope I answered your question, and I really hope that that made sense. I also receive a lot of questions about past patterns that I have crocheted them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't know, a long time ago, like even patterns that I crocheted 1 year ago, and people are asking me exactly the row and why is it not working, and they did this many stitches in this row. And guys, I really do want to help you, but it's just not possible to remember every row of every pattern. So I'm sorry about that. If I have the time and I get into the video and I see that there is a question like that and I do have the time, I would actually check the video and answer to you. But please do not take it in a wrong way. I just cannot answer for videos or tutorials or patterns that I have been crocheting a long time ago. I can't remember all of them, that's for sure. That is another thing that I did wanted to tell you, just not to be pissed off and think why she's not answering. There is just no way to remember all my patterns. Also, another frequently asked question is the materials. Most of the patterns, they have the links to the materials in the description box down below. You have to click more and then you can see there. Sometimes I have even pinned them as a comment. You can find them there too, and sometimes you can just find also the links to the materials in my website, because some of the patterns are also written patterns and you can find there all the written patterns and the links to the materials. There is a question about another bag of mine. Can you please guide the bag? The bag will look nice if we use jute yarn. Well, this is a kind of bag that it will look good, I think, also with jute yarn, but it all depends on taste and it all depends on how you are going to work. So I think this one will actually look good on jute as well. And I also think that raffia yarn, it is very natural fiber, so it will look also good with all natural fibers. I feel that jute is also one, cotton is also one. So this, if I would be you, I would interchange these three materials. I also have a lot of people writing, they need the patterns in their own language, and actually all the video tutorials, if you click at the CC section, and there you can actually change the automatic language to your language. So all of my videos, they do have commentary down below. I have activated that so that you can actually see them in your own language. So if you click the CC button underneath, and then there you have to select your own language, then you can see all the video tutorials in your language. Of course, they are not 100% said right. I think they are auto-translated from Google, but at least they will give you an idea what I am saying. Yeah, I also get a lot of questions about the yarn, because maybe the yarn that I am using will ship in Europe, but it will not ship in America or in other countries. Like, for example, there is Deborah Vol 966, and she's asking, where did you get your raffia yarn? I do get it on Amazon. But I think this is the same yarn that Hobbii has one. I can link for you in the description down below. It is kind of similar raffia yarn. And it is different from another raffia yarn, because this is paper raffia yarn and the other one is a natural raffia yarn. And people make a little bit of confusion out of it, but this is made of bamboo, I think. And the other yarn, it is more flat, like big. But this one is totally twisted and is like totally yarn. I do use this yarn because it's cheaper. It's shipped directly from the supplier in China, so I can get a huge quantity for a cheaper price. And that's why I use this one from Amazon. And so the quantity of the yarn that I get is bigger, but I am planning to buy the same yarn from Hobbii so that I can do a comparison of these two. The only problem with the yarn that I am buying is that you have to have patience, because this yarn, it is not easy to untangle and to make it in big balls. So I have seen a lot of comments at the supplier, at the shop that I actually buy this yarn, and the poor supplier, I guess he's not happy with that, but yeah, there are a lot of people are writing there that they cannot make this yarn in balls, like it will tangle. It is easy once you get the hang of it, but it is not the problem of the supplier. The supplier sells the yarn like that, and you're just gonna have to find a way how to untangle it and to make it in balls. The good thing of this is that it is cheaper than the one that you are buying at your yarn shop. It was really fun to do this video for you. This is an idea that I am going to actually have more of these sit-down videos where I answer your questions. I find this is an easier way, so yeah, my darlings, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I will see you on my next one. Bye! Cheers!